What did Jimmy Garoppolo say? Feels great, baby. Feels great to be out there at Broncos training camp, Broncos Park, powered by Common Spirit, where we saw Evan Engram shine today, Mase.
He wasn't the only one, but it was your first chance to see Evan Engram as a Denver Bronco. See, I've been waiting all day for your takes. I know you shared some on the radio, but I was a little busy with other things. So I haven't really listened to your takes. So this is going to be my first chance to get your perspective on things. At least from the tent. How much were you really able to see from the tent? I guess I need to ask you that.
More than you think, but not everything. Not as much as I like. You know what I mean? And I know I'll tell a little tale here, Mase, as we get the show kicked off. I know Zach Bai and I are seeing things differently with Cortland Sutton. And for ZB, he's like, he didn't have any catches in team period. And that's very true. And he says he hasn't any catches in team period in 3 days. And that's also could be very true. For one, it's acclimation days. I don't count those. Today, actual training camp. But here's the thing. I see things differently with Cortland Sutton because the energy and kind of his enthusiasm I appreciate. And I do share the JJ Watt. I don't know if you saw JJ Watt on Twitter, but he said, if you're taking training camp stats, you should stop. And I'm not saying this for ZB necessarily. And I'll talk to Zach next time I see him, probably tomorrow, hopefully tomorrow at training camp, of like, we're on the same team. We're on the same page. I'm not necessarily concerned about Sutton's not getting the he's getting some big passes, maybe on air, maybe in one-on-ones, maybe in 7-on-7, not team 11-on-11, but still, like, I can see a little more from the tent, but you know me, dude. I want to see everything, and I can't see everything.
I think Zach is trying to find stuff that fits his narrative. I think he's basically molding it to fit his narrative. Whereas, Cortland Sutton over the last 3 days has gotten the ball as often as Devon Vele, and no one's talking about Devon Vele being somehow in some type of situation. Right. So I think basically he, with all respect to Zach, I think he's molding what he's seeing to fit his narrative about something rather than just taking it as it comes and accepting it. This is part of practice, and some days some guys are going to get the ball more than others, and it's practice.
Yeah, okay. And ZB's calling it a hybrid hold-in. And again, I will talk to Zach directly tomorrow. We'll get on the same page with this thing, and we'll hash it out because hybrid hold-in, what have you, I still look at the energy, enthusiasm coming from Cortland Sutton, and I'm encouraged by that, Mase, because things could be it could be a Terry McLaurin situation. Yeah. It could be completely different. But when you see Franklin out there balling out, Engram out there balling out, it gave me chills. And I told you, I said this on air, and I told you via text, you and I have been doing this a long time, brother. Doesn't it feel like the Broncos are back? Like last year, it was, let's see Bo getting up to speed. We talked about struggle, improve, excel. And I'm getting chills now recounting it because I know your history of this team. To me, it just feels like these are the Broncos that we had 10 years ago. These are the Broncos. We've seen imposters for 10 years. These are the Broncos.
One more thought on the previous topic before we move on to that, because I agree with you, but I know you've been in radio for a long time. Sometimes I think radio tries to manufacture drama, with all due respect. And I think that's a case here. So I just had to get that off my chest. I think this is a case of trying to manufacture drama. Now, to the other point, does it feel like the Broncos of old? Yes, it feels like the Broncos are back. It feels like the energy is back. When you see young players as well, sort of not really buying into it, but they're feeding off of it. Like they're doing their part. I did my part.
I'm doing my part.
They're the ones out there. They're going in front of the bleachers and they're getting people fired up before practice. there was a juice. There's a tempo to practice as well, and there's a standard. This is another thing. Successful Broncos teams of the past, you could feel a standard, and that bled through to second team, third team, and we saw that today. I'll give you an example, Cease. One of the better players I thought out there today was Jarrett Stidham.
Yeah.
I thought he had a terrific day. Now, some of that is it's his third year in the system. So he's more comfortable in the offense and he's growing as a quarterback. The thing that he's doing better than he did 2 years ago is he's operating better under a pass rush, under duress. He's climbing the pocket better. He's more decisive. That was one of the things that led to that big play to Troy Franklin, one of the stars of the day. He hits Franklin downfield past Mathis and Devin Key for that 70-plus yard touchdown. But that play happens because Dondrea Tillman, we talk about him all the time, right? He had a big day. Jonathan Cooper gave him a shout out in the press conference after practice.
Love that.
Yeah, you know. So teammates are noticing as well. Like when you're getting a shout out from a veteran teammate, and with all due respect to Nick Benito, Coop is the leader of that room, that edge room. And Sean Payton talked about Coop as a leader today after practice. And Coop's up there and he's singing your praises. That says an awful lot about how far you've come. So Coop, he's got Stiddy on the edge. He's got missile lock. Stiddy does a nice little climb of the pocket, steps up, over the top. Troy Franklin, nice route, touchdown play of the day. Beautiful.
Woo. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's a standard that's permeating going down to the second team, going down to the third team. And here's the thing. We're talking about a big play, but I'm also talking about the offense making a big play, and I'm talking about something good happening on the defensive side as well. The offense reacting to the defense doing something well. This is exciting, right? That you've got the defense forcing the offense to step up. You've got good things happening on both sides of the ball on a play like that. Like, this is what a good team does.
Yes. Yes. And that's why it feels like the Broncos again.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it feels like a balanced team. The defense is winning on some reps. The offense is winning on some reps. Some new players are coming through. Some younger players are coming through on both sides of the ball, offense and defense. Yeah. So it's not just heavy to one side of like, I don't know how the offense is going to do anything. It's both sides getting some shots in, and you'll love to see it.
Yeah.
And I believe I heard Zach talk about, I think it was Caleb Lohner might have missed on Tillman on that play, you know, so you see a young player, Tillman, taking advantage of that, and Lohner, you know, can block. We saw him hip toss a guy, you know, a couple months ago, but still, like, you see this team coming through.
Yeah. Well, part of it is you take advantage of the matchup that's there, right? You exploit that. If an edge is on a tight end, you've got to get there. But there are times also when Tillman's got, you know, he's on tackle, he's beating him. It's day after day. Again, it's the pattern with Tillman. It's day after day he's making those plays.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yep. And it's a pattern with Evan Engram. And I know we talked a lot about Evan Engram yesterday, again, acclimation day, but first day of training camp, first time I had put my eyes on him. We can't say everything, Mase. And if I say too much, let me know, because I don't want to get in trouble with the team. We have practice observations that we can't say. I would just say this. If you wanted to have a chess piece to move all over the field, maybe sometimes a tight end, but maybe sometimes in the slot, and maybe sometimes outside wide, maybe sometimes in motion. Evan Engram is that chess piece.
Mm-hmm.
Did I do it okay?
I think you did it very well.
Okay, thank you.
Whatever you want to call it, joker, whatever, that's part of the definition of that term, is somebody that you move around.
Yes.
Interior target, outside. That player aligns to where the mismatch exists. Is the mismatch against the slot corner? Is the mismatch outside? Is the mismatch against the linebacker? Wherever you find that, that's where you're going to put that guy. That's sort of the key element there. But do you want a size mismatch? Do you want a speed mismatch? Do you want a speed mismatch? Okay, let's, quickness speed mismatch. Okay, put him on a linebacker. Do you want a size reach mismatch? Okay, move him outside, put him on, set up the duel against a corner, right? There, it's whatever you want to do. Put the defense into a pick your poison type of situation. That is one of the goals of the Joker, is to create questions for defensive coordinators that end up being very difficult to answer.
Yep. And that's what Sean Payton can do now with these new assets. And with Troy Franklin coming through like that, again, with the Stiddy rep and Stidham giving you real confidence out there, as he should. But with Franklin coming through, man alive, I mean, you've got Franklin in that speed. Now Franklin with hands, with separation. You've got a lot of speed with Marvin Mims, of course. Pat Bryant was doing jugs machines when I showed up.
Yeah.
And I left at 2. So it was about 1 o'clock. I think everyone had cleared out and the jugs machine was out there and Pat Bryant was out there working the jugs machine before practice, working the jugs machine well after practice. I think it was like the groundskeepers and us were out there.
So he was the last guy out there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, literally by 1 o'clock, I've shot my stand up and I'm driving home.
Yes.
So you're seeing it because you're doing your radio show until 2.
Yes.
So this is something to note. Cease, you're going to be the last. You are going to be among the last people there every day.
Mm-hmm.
So keep making note of that. Who are the last Broncos around?
Yes.
Because even on days when I'm waiting to do an interview, I'm not going to be there till 2. You're going to be there till 2.
Right. Right.
So,
well, it's something to note with a young player like that. I mean, size, hands, and again, the speed with Mims. I saw a hook route from Mims, not giving away too much. It's a hook route.
He's just doing more routes.
Yes. I think that's the best way to put it. He's running the tree.
The branches on the tree are expanding for Marvin Mims Jr. It's the best way to describe it without going afoul of saying too much. He has more branches on the tree now.
Mm-hmm. And isn't that amazing and wonderful? In year 3, we want that. Wide receivers usually take about 3 years. And you want to see, is he more than just a go route guy? Yes. The answer is yes. And I personally kind of feel gadget player is a little bit insulting to say with Marvin, because he's much more than that. And he can be. Have we seen the best of blank? Have we seen the best of Marvin Mims? The answer is no, not at all.
It's enough to where I think I'm willing to say it. Maybe it's not this year, but there's 1,000-yard receiving season in Marvin Mims Jr.'s future.
Maybe this year.
Yeah. Maybe this year, maybe not, but he has 1,000-yard season coming as a receiver. Now, this year, I think it's maybe the 8 to 10 total touchdown season when you factor in returns as well. But I think there's a year where he gets 1,000 yards. Now, the interesting thing then becomes, as he improves and evolves as a receiver, then do the Broncos become less willing to expose him on returns, because does that come with the associated injury risk? Or is he so much of a game breaker there and brings such added value that they simply have to keep putting him out there because there's such a benefit to him there? And that's part of the success equation. Like that's something the Broncos have to think about, because you're not just talking about an ordinary returner. You are talking about a literal all-pro. He is the best returner in the game. This is not an ordinary guy.
Right.
And you are also in a moment where You have these alterations on returns that supposedly are reducing the injury rate. So you would think maybe that means, okay, if it's a little safer out there, if guys aren't coming quite at full speed in the way they used to, and the collisions aren't what they used to be, then perhaps the risk of injury is not as great, and you can keep using Marvin Mims Jr. on special teams, and you're not holding your breath in the same way that you used to, and simply saying, okay, that it's another chance for him to make a play.
Yep. Another way for him to make a play. Speaking of the return game, I did note my next best guy was Tyler Bidet.
Yeah.
And back there. And
interesting. Yeah.
He's kind of a Sean Payton favorite. And if there's one thing you want in life, Mase, you want to find someone that looks at you like Sean Payton looks at Adam Troutman, or looks at perhaps Tyler Bidet. Bidet's kind of becoming a Payton guy. Now, maybe they can sneak him through the practice squad or whatever, but that added return ability,
yes,
that's something that'll be like, yep, we're keeping the guy. Practice squad, but we're keeping the guy.
Tyler Bidet is going to be around. The question with him is he on the 53, or do they play the Lil Jordan Humphrey, Michael Burton roster gymnastic game with him? Simply because 4 years out from his rookie class and already being someone who has been waived at the roster deadline 3 times, do they feel like there's a pretty good chance they could pass him through, get him back on the practice squad, and then use those 3 elevations and then bring him to the 53? Like, that's the whole thing with Tyler Bidet. I believe Tyler Bidet is going to be on this team the entire season. And in fact, if RJ Harvey or JK Dobbins are injured, I think Tyler Bidet is the guy who actually comes in and replaces one of them.
Yes.
The question on Bidet is he on the 53 right out of camp, or is he Lil Jordan Humphrey, as in elevations and then to the 53? I think that's the real question here.
But Jalil's role is always Jalil's role.
Yes.
Bidet is your replacement for either JK or RJ.
Although Jalil did have a play earlier this week in the acclimation days. He was a wheel route in 7-on-7, just a miscommunication, and the ball went off his helmet. So
it happens.
It happens. By the way, I thought about you as I was watching practice. Not a good day for Lucas Kroll. Lucas Kroll does not want to hear the name Lavelle Bailey again, because Lavelle Bailey stole the football from him twice today. Just once a full takeaway turnover, another time wrestled it from him for an incompletion. Yeah. And yes, every time something like that happens to Lucas Kroll, everyone does think of you, Cease, in the media corps.
Why, thank you. Thank you for that.
Sorry.
Hey, he did it. And the story with Lucas Kroll will be, he was really good in practice.
Yeah.
Remember that guy that was really good in practice? And by the way, Quinn Miners and PS2 were not doing a whole lot during those practices when I was like, Lucas Kroll, he's like the best, right? And Sean Payton rolled his eyes at me.
Well,
it's fine, baby. It's fine.
He did give you that window. I think it was the acknowledgement that Lucas Kroll really did have a good offseason at tight end. He really did.
He did.
He did. And if you had said tight end, I believe he would have agreed with you.
Perhaps.
Because he was. I think because there was the argument. That was his acknowledgement that you did have a good point on tight end. I think we all felt that way about tight end, and I think it was obvious. And then Kroll had his moment last year. He had his chance. It didn't come together. And now definitely it seems like the train is leaving the station without him, unfortunately.
Have we seen the best of blank? Have we seen the best of Lucas Kroll? I believe we have.
Yes. I think we have.
He's had his opportunities.
Yes.
So he's losing opportunities now, that's for sure. And a Caleb Lohner, again, missed on Dondre Tillman today as a blocker, but that's the type of guy like, okay, maybe Lohner does go from 4 catches, 4 touchdowns to 53. I'm not projecting that, but I mean, nothing's out the realm of possibility with this team and the roster crunch that they have. George Payton's going to get some gray hairs over the next 3 weeks.
With players like Lohner, 7th round pick, but it's going to be worth asking this question here, especially if he flashes. Lohner, Johnny Walker Jr., are you going to be able to sneak them through?
Johnny Walker, no way.
Are you going to have a spot for them on the 53 and just say, okay, again, this is where you play. This is where you're going to have to play the roster game with. You may be playing with Michael Burton again, just like you did last year, but you may be playing it with Tyler Bidet. That 53 that you see at the roster deadline may not be the 53 that end up playing the most. Some of those 53 you may see inactive all year. Just you're going to play that roster game. By the way, have we seen the best of Jeremy Crawshaw?
Gage was asking for a Crawshaw update from you. So you want me to play our sponsor or do you want to do a Crawshaw update for the folks first?
Why don't you play our sponsor? That's a tease, by the way. We'll be back after this word from our sponsor, Ramos Law, and we'll tell you more about Jeremy Crawshaw's big day right after this.
Today's episode of Orange and Blue Today is presented by Ramos Law, the official injury law firm partner of the Denver Broncos. Ramos Law was founded by Dr. Joseph Ramos, an attorney and ER doctor, to provide exceptional care to those injured in accidents. With a unique understanding of both medicine and law, the Ramos Law team is built to fight for you every step of the way. Experience the Ramos Law difference. Contact them today at ramoslaw.com.
Okay.
Right. Crawshaw report.
Jeremy Crawshaw. So they started off with him back of the end zone, line of scrimmage, the 3-yard line. So right there in front of you, Cease, where you are in the radio row tent.
Yep.
Hang time, 4.9 seconds. Length, 70 yards on the punt.
Whew.
I've talked about how I wanted a punter who had the driver in his bag, the big dog. Like, okay, I want a guy with that club in his bag. There you go. Crawshaw's got it. The guy that you just tell him, okay, we're back deep in our territory. Flip the dadgum field. And he just blasted it. In this punt period, he only had one shaky punt, and it was one punt that was sub-4 hang time. It was still 50 yards, but it came with a caveat. Snap was high. Nice job to field it before getting it off. He had another high snap, and he had a good punt on that. The interesting thing about this, I think actually all but one of his punts had at least 4.7 on hang time. So these things were staying up forever.
Okay.
So he starts off with this blast out of the back of his end zone. He keeps uncorking missiles. There were another couple of 60-yard plus punts in there. Then toward the end of the period, they go on the opponent's side of the 50. So it's time for placement punting. So, all right, we focused on the driver. Now we're going to the wedges, so to speak. And he drops all 3 of these punts inside the 10-yard line. And all 3 of them, he gets them to bounce either toward the sideline or 2 of them toward the sideline, 1 of them back away from the goal line. They all get downed inside the 10-yard line. It was a masterclass. if he punts like this in the regular season, he's going to be all pro. Like if that is the Crawshaw we see when it counts, he will be the first all pro punter for the Broncos since Mike Haran back in 1988.
Whew.
That's how good that was. And of course it came 2 days after Sean Payton, when he was asked about him, he talked about the fireworks, but then he referred to like there's one that kind of goes off to the side, right? Well,
Yeah.
None of that today.
Mm-hmm.
That was Crawshaw responding to the public challenge from his coach on a day, Wednesday, where he had some blasts, but then he had one or two in there that kind of hit fat off his foot and went off to the side. And so Sean Payton, very complimentary of Crawshaw, and said, I'm excited about him. Think about that. A head coach saying he's excited about a punter. I mean, that's
A rookie punter.
a rookie punter. I mean, sometimes coaches throw out compliments about rookies like manhole covers, as the cliche goes. And he's complimenting a rookie punter. So that right there, that's something that makes you go, whoa. And saying he's excited about him, double whoa. But saying he's got to be more consistent.
Right.
And then what does he do? Next drill, goes out there and absolutely kills it. Man, that talk about answering the challenge right there from your head coach.
Mm-hmm. And answering it quickly.
Yeah. That's, I think that says a lot about what kind of timber this dude is cut from.
Yeah, because if he doesn't answer it quickly, this team starts looking for another punter to at least compete, to push him. They don't need to send that message.
Yep. He got the message.
You got the memo?
Yeah. And it's not like he was yelling at him, just he put it out there. Got to be more consistent. Message received. And what a day he had today. I mean,
yes.
We're sitting there watching it on the sideline, and we're all kind of watching it in the air, like, holy cow. And I'm like, oh my goodness, look at this. I mean, and of course I'm timing it. I do the hang time. I just want the data to go along to confirm what my eyes are seeing. And it was, tremendous day. I mean, me and punters, but
you're the one we all turn to.
This dude's got it. I'll say this: the fans getting to see it. I know there are some that are in the stands that watch this show and have heard me talk about it, and I was really happy for them to see what I've been talking about, and I'm happy that it's going to get out there from everyone watching these practices that, okay, like, now y'all understand, like, this is what I've been saying. Like, I wasn't kidding here. I mean, look, and you and I were down there at the Senior Bowl. You heard it. Like, you got it.
It would make me look up from whatever I was doing. And I don't pay attention to punters.
And you don't care about special teams. And he got your attention.
Yep.
That should say a lot right there. So,
yeah.
I think obviously they'll be, he's a rookie. There will be consistency things at some point, but I think this job's going to be in good hands with this kid. I think he's going to be okay. He's gotten better, by the way, ever since he came to the States. You look at his time at Florida, he got better every single year. So I expect that improvement to continue. No reason why he shouldn't.
Right. The way you do one thing is the way you do everything. Yeah. And if you look at the trend for Crawshaw is to continue to improve.
Yeah.
And for Andrew Mason to continue to smile.
The way you do one thing is the way you do everything.
Mm-hmm.
I think we could kind of say that about Evan Engram as well.
Yes.
In terms of how he works. And I asked him something today. He was talking about run blocking and how he's working on that. And my follow-up to him was asking about, okay, you're working at this. It's year 9. You're a veteran in this league, and it would be easy to kind of be pigeonholed as one thing. But here you are, and you are still working to get better at something that hasn't been something that you're known for. And so I asked him about that, and his response is something that, frankly, got me a little bit fired up in a good way. Here's Evan Engram.
I'm just addicted to getting better. I never want to put a ceiling or a limit on the evolving of my game. There's always something I want to improve. I'm constantly chasing perfection, and obviously, perfection is impossible. But the closer I can get, the harder it is to beat me. The more I help my team. So that's just the mentality I have, and I'm constantly want to learn. I want to be a great leader, but also I can be led as well. And I'm just in a great place here. Just the mentality that we have here, getting better every single day, 1% better. It's just the way I am, and it just feels good to be in a place that matches that.
Addicted to getting better.
Wow.
I love that.
Grinder, maniacal is a term I've used on the radio. Mase is like, you have a maniacal coach in Sean Payton, you have a maniacal quarterback in Bo Nix. Sounds like Evan Engram fits right in. He talked about showing up in Jacksonville and sometimes he'd be the first one there. What?
Maniacal dudes with an edge.
Yeah.
Dudes that respond to challenges. I mean, that's why we're talking about a punter who has even a slight challenge from the coach, and he goes out there and responds to that by just freaking dominating a period. And Evan Engram fits right in with that here. Like, was watching him in the run blocking period, working at it, and like Engram, he doesn't want to have a hole in his game. And also, you often talk about declaration of influence, and he alluded to that. Doesn't want to kind of be a tell when he's out there. Doesn't want to check into the game and everyone think, okay, they can't run because number 1's out there. So puts in a little extra work as a blocker. There's another thing that I was actually thinking about with him. It's that if you improve as a blocker, as a tight end, you might add some years to your career. Think about Mercedes Lewis, for example.
Oh, geez. Yeah.
That dude, I remember a few years ago talking with Justin Outen, the former Broncos assistant who coached tight ends for a while. And he told me a story once about Mercedes Lewis and how the thing that kind of got into his head is he improved as a blocker as he got older. And when he bought into the value of blocking, it basically extended his career because he wasn't the pass catcher that he had been before, but because he'd honed and refined that skill, there was always going to be a place for him, even as the speed and the quickness waned. If you do the dirty work, if you get in there and block, there's going to be a place for you. So if Engram improves as a blocker, maybe, that per catch average, it hasn't been what it was. And you and I often talk about the Broncos. They're not signing him to be 2017 Evan Engram. They're okay with him being 2025 Evan Engram. But if he gets a little bit more as a blocker, who knows? He could extend his career 4 or 5 more years by doing that dirty work. And he wants to get better at it. He could just be who Evan Engram is right now, but he wants to be more. He wants to add more to his game, even here in year 9. Says so much about that dude.
And think about that as a veteran where he could just be like, I'm well paid.
Yeah.
I've done a lot in my career. I got a new team. Yeah, Sean Payton. Yeah, Joker. He could be kind of playing around with this.
Mm-hmm.
He's taking it very seriously to be the best version of himself.
Yeah. To get all he can out of all he is.
Yes.
Now it's just a matter of stay healthy. That's the thing. That I think that's the variable here is stay healthy. Knock on wood, plastic, any surface you can find. Because that's really what probably will determine his success here is how available he is because of health. As the cliche goes, the best ability is availability. And that may determine whether that signing proves to be a good one or not.
And I do believe that for this team to make the deepest playoff run possible, Evan Engram needs to be out there.
Yeah.
There's just so much you can do with him. And God bless Adam Troutman and Nate Adkins and anyone else. They can't do what he can do.
There isn't an apples to apples replacement for Evan Engram, unfortunately.
No. I mean, if J.K. Dobbins is a little banged up, you and I'll speak for you, Mase, like we have confidence in Tyler Bidet. Like I have confidence in Tyler Bidet. I know you do. We've talked a lot about him on this show. If Dobbins is a little banged up, Bidet, there's a step off, there's a drop down, but not much. He can do it all, doesn't need to come off the field. If Engram gets a little banged up, there's no one that can replace him.
Yeah. There is, yeah. They have tight ends, but they are more traditional inline type.
They're wise.
Yeah, you're not talking about Adam Troutman being somebody that you move outside to be a potential mismatch, someone to exploit a cornerback that you see can be beaten in a size mismatch. That's just not something you're going to do. Doesn't happen. So this is a deep team, but I was talking with Bruce Hurdle of Fox 31, and we were sort of going over. Yeah, great dude. And we were going over some positions where, we're talking about irreplaceable Broncos because there just isn't a comparable reserve. There isn't the depth. Like Evan Engram's right there. I mean, some are obvious. Bo Nix, Pat Surtain. You look at, for example, Nick Bonito, all due respect to Nick Bonito, the depth at edge is such to where you could probably withstand losing one of your starting edges and be reasonably okay because you have such good depth there. You don't want to lose anybody, but you could withstand it. Mike McGlinchey missed the last 2 days of practice. You could withstand losing a tackle because Alex Palczewski is a very good backup.
He's a starter somewhere.
Yeah, he is a starting caliber backup. That's how good he is.
Mm-hmm.
There just isn't anybody who can replace Evan Engram. And for example, all due respect to the backup defensive lineman, there isn't anyone who can replace Zach Allen.
Nope.
And all due respect to the backup corners, there isn't anybody who can replace PS2. Yeah, you can just, you can go down the list. And also, I don't know if there's anybody who can step in at inside linebacker. Yeah, hope Drew Sanders can grow, but I don't know if he's there yet. So.
Right. And at safety with Talanoa Hufanga, if we talk about the new guys that have injury history, Hufanga, I have confidence in PJ Locke. I'm sure you do as well. It's like, okay, that's if Locke makes the team.
Spinal fusion too.
Yes. And there's also the cap savings for him. I believe it's $5 million, top of my head. So that's a conversation there as well. And we're interested to see the further development of JL Skinner.
Yeah.
It's too quick. And, this is where the hyperbolic, the radio side of me comes through. We can't write off guys too quick.
Mm-hmm.
And even I have to remind myself of that a lot. Like, why isn't JL Skinner? He was supposed to be better. He's getting better. So let's put eyes on him and see what more he can be. Like with Marvin Mims. If we were to write off Marvin Mims after a year, oh yeah, he's just a returner. He's a great returner, but he's just a returner. And then after this last season, oh, he's just a gadget guy. No. He could be a 1,000-yard receiver in 2025.
This is why I don't grade drafts when they happen. I don't even grade drafts after 1 year.
I do grade drafts when they happen.
I know you do. I know this is our great debate.
Yes. We'll
but I don't
continue
even,
to
like
have
I
a great
said, I don't even
debate.
grade him after 1 year because
It takes 3. It takes 3 for a full established grade.
Yeah. But camp number 3 is the fork in the road moment.
You can tell.
Not the Yogi Berra, when you come to a fork in the road, take it thing. And that's why, like, Drew Sanders is at a fork in the road camp and JL Skinner is at a fork in the road camp. Now, Drew Sanders is going to be on the team, but this is the moment where he's really got to show development here. And with 2 inside backers who have injury concerns, there may be an opportunity for him to show this year if he can be a starter. JL Skinner, his roster spot's on the line because if you look in that room, it's Delarian Turner-Yell coming back from an ACL, who's exceptional on special teams. It's Devin Key, although certainly on the business end of that deep ball to Troy Franklin today. It's Sam Franklin, who is an exceptional special teamer as well, and PJ Locke in that room. Even Keydron Smith as well, who played some last year. It's a tight room in there. Safety is one of those spots where an NFL quality guy, someone who should be on somebody's 53, is getting cut. By my estimation, Cease, there are 60 NFL players on this team, at least, in 53 spots.
Hell of a job by George Payton, and to work with Sean Payton to find those guys that fit his system and that are damn good ballers, undrafted, trade, free agent edition, what have you. And you know what's exciting, Mase? I get to watch all of practice tomorrow.
Oh, wow.
Woo!
Now,
Saturday.
Are we doing the thing where we watch it together, or are we doing our Senior Bowl thing where we watch it separately and then we come back together and see how much of our notes kind of mesh or how much we disagree?
I like the shared moments, and I've told the tale on air. And I do it with also saying some stuff about, like, well, there's a lot of people that watch practice that don't know what they're watching. And that's just the honest truth. I don't want to be mean, but I said this 2 days ago on the radio. I said, Andrew Mason knows what he's watching. So when you and I come together and we do this at the Senior Bowl, and we can be like, it's almost like coming back from school from summer break and be like, did you listen to that album, or did you see that movie? And like, yes, like the Joaquin Davis, that's one of our most recent examples. At rookie mini camp, when you come up to me and like, did you see it? Did you see it? It's almost like at the same time. I like watching separately and then coming together.
He had another one today.
He did.
I know.
How
about Jerwan Newton today?
Yes. Big time play. One-hander.
One over the shoulder. 2 guys. By the way, not a good decision by Sam Ehlinger to throw the ball. Okay. I'm sorry.
You'll be shocked to know it was a bad decision from Sam Ehlinger.
Just what are you doing? And
he bailed him out.
Totally bailed out by Sherwan with this cack.
You bailed him out, man. He bailed him out.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Yeah. So we'll be out there. We don't know yet. Follow us on the socials. It might be around this time tomorrow. It might be earlier. Late night. It might be earlier. We're just gonna.
We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know yet. We got to watch everything. We got to collect all the stuff we want to talk about, and Mase does a great job in producing the show. We kind of co-produce it, so we work together to bring you the best Broncos coverage that we possibly can. And we certainly appreciate everyone out there. And give us a shout out if you're sitting in the stands and you see us, and give us a wave, give us a shout out. We certainly appreciate Broncos Country, Mase. But how can folks repay us? By helping us out on our YouTube channel.
Like,
comment,
share,
subscribe,
hit that notification bell
so that you
never
miss vid. That's right. He's Andrew Mason. You follow him on all the socials at Mase Denver. I'm at Cecil saying OBT's BFD. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. And would you please stay frosty?